Hey, what's up guys? I'm just packing up for a trip to Las Vegas, a bit of a business trip. I'm going to give some presentations as well. And one bag for 5 days in Vegas. I don't know, is that enough? I'm not sure, but I've got all the essentials. We got this, we got the camera equipment, a brand new GoPro to give away to the people at the presentation as a bit of a gift, right? But before I go and head to the airport, I want to go through this concept of sector or stock rotation, which is actually what we're going through right now in the stock market. It's a very important concept to understand. Let me show you guys a couple things, and then I gotta go pretty soon.
All right, guys, so let's look at a couple charts, and what we're talking about here is, like I said before, is a thing called sector rotation. And I told my Clubhouse members this earlier this week that I think some of the most straightforward types of markets, as far as equities are concerned, are when we have the sector rotation or grouped rotation plays, which is where one sector after another, or one group of stocks after another, starts basically breaking out. And so far, actually over the past few months, but more specifically, more visibly, ever since the post-election rally started, you can see very clearly we had breakouts in the financials. This is the XLF ETF. You can see that doesn't take a rocket science to see that breakout. Very, very powerful. Same thing in the industrial space, XLI. You can see here too, we had a very, very nice breakout to the upside that I think is worth respecting, but I'm not quite sure any of these are really worth having to chase after at this point. But what we're seeing now underneath the surface is that other parts of the market are also starting to break out. Another part of the market that has already broken out is the transportation stocks. They've been showing us relative strength the entire for a good part of 2016. So finally, having seen these guys resolve to the upside, here is very, very powerful, very, very positive as well. So what else could have sort of be the next sort of pockets in the market to start pushing higher? Well, for one, we have the energy sector, and as much as the dollar has been rising, which tends to be somewhat at least a marginal headwind for equities, we're starting to see the energy sector, the XLE ETF, or the energy sector of the S&P 500, starting to give us more promising signs visibly here that they're starting to push up against resistance that has been in place ever since, let's call it November 2015. So here too, another sector that may potentially start look to work higher. And then we have the semiconductor stocks. Semiconductor stocks have been a bit of a mixed bag year to date. We have a couple of stocks that are very, very strong, like Nvidia, which I made a video about, I think last week, talk about the strength of that stock. But basically, the semiconductor stocks are looking promising. Again, you can see that basically they've consolidated ever since topping out here in October, and now we're starting to see, some better price action. You can look at single name stocks as well within this space, stocks like Intel that have given us some pretty decent bullish reversal. So reversal over the past, let's call it the week and a half or so. Not quite at this point yet where they're explosively breaking higher, but you can see some pretty good consolidation periods. Same thing with something like MU, which is Micron Technology, also in that same kind of space, a stock that has been consolidating really since, let's call it mid-September, and is now starting to look more and more like it wants to start breaking higher. You can see, depending on how you draw the lines or where you draw the lines from, that we're starting to see some better price action here, potentially the upside. So the sector rotation types of plays or group rotation, where one stock or one index component, or one sector or one group of stocks starts to push higher and break higher, particularly when it lines up also with very well defined technical patterns, which is what we're seeing right now. Those tend to be the most straightforward, not easy. Note how I'm not saying the word easy, but I think the most straightforward types of markets to trade. So I wanted to quickly give this to you guys before I hop on the plane here to Vegas. Hope this makes sense, guys. Any questions, as always, please leave them down in the comment section below. Like the video, subscribe to my channel.